we're
Hey,
gonna
Ellie.
get we're gonna get into something right now. So it's been a while, by the way.
Yeah.
So Ellie, how are you doing? It's been a couple months. I just want to ask since we'll get into your move. Don't talk about your move yet, but how have you been? How's life treating you?
It's all right. I work for a surgical oncologist right now,
Huh?
and it's the people that come in are very interesting. It's wild what people think and like will justify versus not, and what they will opt to do versus opt notting to do. And it's like the risk for this one is actually much higher, but for whatever reason you're okay with that, as opposed to this proposition over here, which is not. Or it's just
Sounds
it's
like
just
smart. It sounds like smart things I wouldn't be able to even analyze at this point. Brian, how have you been?
I just work all the time, and I'm fucking.
All right, sounds good. So we have my friend Travis on here. He joined me and my friend Chris for the Bill Oakley episode for Mission Hill about a year and a half ago. And I texted him earlier today, maybe a couple hours ago, actually, asking him to come on here if he would like to talk about something. Now, I'm not here to judge. Travis, you know me. I'm not. I
Yeah.
just want to know about this stuff. So,
Wait,
Okay.
hold on. Are
What?
you
stand by me kind of story.
did you
What?
bring him on here just to like say how great of a basketball player you are?
no, but
That,
Travis
Oh,
is
that'd be
No,
very
hey,
up
Travis.
your alley. That's very on brand for you if you did.
Hey Travis, you want to come
I-
on and tell stories of me hitting Greg shots?
But
Throwing bricks.
you know what? Before we get into that, Travis, because
Sure.
they don't play with me, can you just tell them I'm a very dangerous 3-point shooter? Let's
Right.
just get that out.
Absolutely. He's. I would feel like, look, Scott has some holes in his game. Absolutely. Okay.
Right.
So, but his. I feel like of all the street ball players I've played with, he is the only person that has a faster release than I do for threes. And depending on the day, I would say he's pretty friggin' consistent with
Thank
his
you.
three balls.
So we can take that as we want. One of the best shooters Travis has ever played with, or just a consistent shooter. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But so Travis,
He
I played back.
specifically said consistent
Yeah.
shoot. One of the best players ever,
Yeah. Well, let's one of the hardest people to impress that we play with, Christoph. He you didn't make the top 5 list
Oh
this
no,
year,
we did an all pro list this year for the
right?
court we play at, and I didn't
And
make it.
you were like the one, like he made his top 5, and like Scott was like the honorable mention, which I would consider the 6.
Yeah, six man
I
of the
didn't
year
make
award.
it, but yeah, I didn't make it, but I also pissed him off the day before by not picking him up on my team. So I feel like that was a factor in his
Right.
decision making.
So we'll leave it at we'll leave it up to the imagination of the viewer how good up my shot is. If you would like me to save your life with a shot, or if you'd like me to shoot a shot for $10 million for you, it's up to you. So
Yeah.
I asked him to come on. Ellie gets so annoyed. She's known us only 3 years, but I could just tell she'd slap me if she ever saw me. So
You're out there probably throwing up a bunch of bricks.
that's not true. I don't.
He's not.
He's actually pretty accurate. It's pretty.
Thank you.
It's annoying to admit that.
Thank
No,
you.
he's a fast shot, and he strips the ball. That's the thing. Like like he'll
Listen.
like you catch him off guard, you go past him, but if you're not paying attention, he's going to strip it from you. So
This episode wasn't about me,
okay,
but
so
I have no
Here,
problem.
this is what I feel is a perfect analysis of Scott.
Okay, go on.
Go.
Like, no matter what sport is being played,
Right.
not getting picked first, but he's the first one that you'll say, what the fuck? Why is he as good as he is?
That's a fair assessment. That's a very fair assessment. I like that. Basically, I'm the underdog who will, who will always surprise and enamor people. I'm the highlight reel. That's it. So, I asked Travis to.
What's a highlight reel?
He's trying to transition to this so hard.
I am. Because, like I said, it may be TruExact Radio, but it's a team effort here. It's not about me, and I don't like to do episodes on myself. That's why I asked my friend Travis to come on here. So let's go. So we were gonna play basketball last Saturday. Now, I have to say, I'm glad you two are on here because I think Brian would actually surprisingly go to this, and I think Ellie would too. But I think, if I'm being honest, Ellie would be a little more judgmental about it than Brian. Now, I could be wrong, so let's do this. Now, we were going to play basketball because it was going to be a nice day in the afternoon on Saturday. And we have like a 13-person group chat. And everyone was like, oh, I'm in. Travis said, now I thought it was a joke at first. Once again, I'm not judging it. Do you? He said, I can't. I'm going to the Renaissance Fair. So
fair.
Okay. So I said, I can't tell if you're joking or not, because it's just not something I've ever necessarily been interested in. I don't think I would be. I'd probably enjoy it more than I think. I really think I would. Now, I need to know, we'll go around the table after Travis explains this. What exactly goes on at the Renaissance fairs? And is it everything we're thinking about that we might see in shows and movies? So explain your day. Explain your day.
A lot of it is, but it's with my friend group, it is us like blatantly pushing past it. So yes, there is a lot of people dressed up in Renaissance garbs, what have you, people role playing, my lord, especially the employees there. And it's a lot of like food, like all the food there will be just like kind of like a hut, but it'll be dressed up like it's, I don't know, like King Henry's royal sandwiches or something like that.
Would it be medieval times, like Brian said, something like that, but out in the open?
Medieval, yes, it's medieval times, but it's outside. It's a huge area where the whole thing.
Get rats on a stick at those food vendor thingies. Is that ever a meal item?
Yeah, I mean, you're not getting rats on a stick. You'll get a pickle on a stick, though. You'll get like.
I want historically accurate. Give me rats on a stick.
Yeah, you're not getting this. The best you're gonna get is a turkey leg that is like.
You also want the plague?
Maybe I know.
Historically, I mean, it was COVID's coming back in force, and I'll tell you, there was no restrictions there.
Allegedly, we're not here to discuss possible new strains. But Trav, all right. So, what is your day? You wake up now. Do you put a garb on?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I will. I mean, I'm mostly dressing for the weather or whatever. It could be muddy because it was raining.
Does that make it better when it's raining? It's like, it feels like you're more, I don't know, out in the old times.
It feels more depressing as it should be. Yeah, no, I guess probably it sucks more. Basically, it's just a day of drinking. So
okay.
Today last week we got there way later than we usually did for some reason. I think just kind of a miscommunication with the amount of people we had. But usually we get there at like 10:30 sharp.
I have to cut you off. I'm sorry. I know you, and I know you're a structured person. Did that annoy you that you weren't there on time?
A little bit, but I wanted to sleep more. So it's a 2-hour drive.
Oh,
it's Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's hard to wake up on a Saturday for like it. And it's actually 3 hours with the amount of so it's right basically the exit where Hershey Park is.
Okay.
So it is like basically this
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's this
drive to other states.
I'm sorry.
I'm from California, and you drive for 4 hours in any direction in California, you're still in California. I mean,
you're still in California.
In San Diego, or you're up in Oregon, up on the two borders. But other than that, it's like you're still in California.
No,
Ellie loved her state so much she left it, but we'll divulge. Travis, go on.
Yeah. Okay, so typical structure here is you get in, you prepay your tickets, you walk in, thank you, my lord, and you're immediately in it with the amount of people talking in that fake ass, old Shakespearean English.
And you do it, right? You play the role. You
No, I
actually
do not. I am like, because I try and get as drunk as fast as possible so I can tolerate it, because it's like
Oh, so
annoying.
it's more like
Well,
a
once
drink
I'm,
for you. Okay.
yeah, so once, like, and it's kind of a motivator to like I gotta double fist something quick so I can like tolerate how cringe this is. And it works every time. It's great.
You say
So
it's cringe.
basically,
I feel like you're underselling. Now, when you get the beer, is it like I don't know? I just really picture the old times, like Game of Thrones type. Like it have
yes,
foam coming out the top, and you're just like, oh,
yes, you
hidey,
can
hidey, hidey. Like
absolutely, yeah, you can absolutely do
it's so
that. Like
cool. That
you
is
can get
cool.
the ceramic cups, you can get the like the refillable plastic cups, or you just get the normal cups or whatever. But I will say, because the place is really a winery,
Mhm.
is what it is. So they have a huge selection of stuff you can get. So it was a little warm for this last weekend, but like they have mulled wine, they have they'll have canned cocktails, but they'll have like
Mead.
Merlot and like blackberry wine. Like they'll have a bunch of like sweet wines, basically sangrias, and then they'll have like ales and like their own lagers and Irish red and pumpkin stouts. So they'll have like, you know, like 40 things you can select from any of like, and there's tons of place to get beer and alcohol around the place. Like
As
they
Ellie
want you
said,
lit
though,
up.
it's mead, right? You call it mead.
Mead, yes, there's tons of mead. Mead. So the one time I had mead, and this has become our meetup section place, kind of in the town square. Basically, one of the years I had a turkey leg, and I started the morning with mead, and that did not sit well because I immediately threw it up into a bush. And now our meetup spot every year when we walk in, because we're coming in 6 different cars, is Travis's vomit bush, basically.
Yes,
So
I love that.
so that's our meetup spot.
Would you call
And
it?
I really have only had meat once. Meat is so sweet and heavy, like
But
it just that doesn't sit well.
Trav, Brian, say that again because I was thinking that
You
What's
should
up?
call it your meet up spot.
Your
Gotcha.
meat,
meetup.
that's pretty good. I mean,
I mean, we're rappers, so we
I
kind
would have
of
said it immediately.
damn. No one's
immediately.
ever come up with that. That sucks. I'm mad about that now. All
But
right.
you say you're 6 cars deep. How many people do you go with?
I think the most we went with is like 15, 16 people. Like
Wow.
we'll go like a huge group, because then it'll be like everyone's like it'll be like kind of our center of friends that's like 8 people, and then like everyone kind of brings their girlfriend at the time, or their wife now,
Does
or
that bother you?
just or their
Do you want it to
brother.
be a
No,
do you
not at all.
no? Oh, you don't
No,
want it to be a man trip with
This is a dicks only event.
no. It's not a.
Leave your
It,
vaginas at
the
home.
women being uncomfortable is part of the fun for me, I think. Like
you mean the wives, the women you know, like being there with.
yes,
Okay, all right,
yes.
yeah. I mean, let's clarify that he means the women not knowing necessarily what they're getting into when their husbands are there. Like, what the hell is
Right.
this? Okay,
Well, let me
gotcha.
put it that like I drink, and I drink, and like we start drinking at 10:30 in the morning. By 11:30, my shirt's off for the rest of the day. That's how it
Burn.
kind of
Sunburn.
goes.
So now
So,
there is
and you've
there.
seen me with my shirt off plenty of times, Scott.
Okay, he plays basketball shirtless.
I wanted to squeeze that in.
Yeah, he plays basketball shirtless. That's what he means
Uh,
by that. That's
Sure.
yeah.
anyway. Ellie, did you have something to ask? Because I have a question.
Yeah. So, okay, I know. How often do you? Are you a pagan? And I don't mean like. I know that sounds derogatory.
Pagan. Nah, I mean, brought up Roman Catholic, but I don't go to
It'd be great
church.
if Travis was like, "Are you a Jew?" And you were like, "Yeah." Like,
Dude,
No,
that would have been
because
funny.
typically, I find that like the Ren Fest and like pagan festivals kind of like
so you
intersect.
have been.
I don't get that vibe at all, like from
We're all
at
Catholics.
least from the Pennsylvania Renaissance
Yeah.
Fair. Maybe
All
the
right.
New York one's different. I've never gone, but it's really just a bunch of D&D people dressing up as their D&D characters,
Okay.
walking around. A lot of times, if they have kids, they'll dress their kids up like an elf or something like that. Um, it is kind of crazy how many like kids they'll bring there. It's I don't know, it's weird. Like it's like a state fair, but there's so much drinking going on there.
Well, look at it as an
strange.
interest, though. Like, I'm into sports, Brian's into sports. I guess if you go to a Giants Cowboys game, you're going to bring your kid. So this is their interest, and they bring their kid, right?
I guess that makes sense.
You know,
Yeah.
if you look at it that way. Now, little do we know is like in the group chat of basketball, we kept asking for photos of this fair, and he
Right.
never sent one. But
Ew.
there is a video that has not yet been circulated around that Travis got into a sword fight at this medieval fair. So explain that, please.
So there is an area where they have fights, basically. Like originally they would give, let me back up. They give you leather armor and like basically fencing gear, like really crappy fencing gear. And in the past, it used to be like these iron rapiers. Like they were like heavy, they weren't sharp or anything like that, but they were like these heavy, thin swords. And you just smack each other, and then you have a balloon on your two shoulders and on your head.
Okay.
And the goal is to whack them. This year, they went down to foam swords because I guess somebody got hurt. Probably it was my fault the prior year. But yeah, so basically, it's just it put you in like a circle. It's just filled with sand, and it's like fenced off. And then usually what my friends do is we just kind of bet on the winners. So we'll put 5 downs down on who like put 5 on this person, 5 on this person. And then
that's what I'm saying.
It's fun. And a lot of people that are in it are not athletic fighting people. They're like
that's the best part.
Playing their D&D characters. Yes. That's the fun I have. So I'll usually try and
I could go to something like that for 3 hours. Like if we bet on the winners and drank,
you're drinking mead and you're betting on like these neckbeards to beat each other up or like to lose to a child in balloon sword fighting. It rules. Like, you know, we stay there for like hours during this.
This goes back to my initial thing. Like Travis, I really felt like you could sell this to Brian. And I don't think he would be opposed for it. And Ellie, I feel like even though you would go, you'd still yell out "nerd" if I said I was going to it. Correct?
I actually went to a Ren fair.
All right, okay. Then why did you keep it a secret here? What, like, is this?
I didn't know it. I'm sorry. This is the first time Ren fair has come up in 3 years. I'm sorry. Like,
why would it otherwise?
That is true.
So. And let me go back to Travis before I get to you.
Camp? Do you like camp out there?
Camp? No. It's usually we get there in the morning
limits.
and then we stay for about 5-6 hours, and then our headaches are so bad because it's still sunny out that we want to kill ourselves, and then we get in our cars and we go to hang out at somebody's house, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So Trav, now I do have to ask this as a married guy who's been with the same lovely woman for 14 years, I vicariously lived through you single people. So how's the tail at these medieval Renaissance?
It's not.
What year is it?
Look at him. He's been fucking holding that question for so long.
You're not missing anything in that department. Like you're not you're not there to like.
It's all taste. We're not judging anybody. Here. We're not judging anyone here. It's all taste. I just want to know: do you go there? And is there like? Do you go there with that? Like, hey, maybe I could impress a girl with my balloon
maybe 1 out of 100 is like a girl cosplaying as something hot, like Xena or something.
Okay.
Maybe they have a good body, but most of the time, no. Like we're talking pretty rough looking people here.
That's fine. That's all.
Yeah.
I
love the descriptive word. Pretty rough looking.
It's all taste based. You didn't have to be that mean.
It's I don't think it's a taste. It's objective.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Ellie. So when you've gone to this, do you feel like you? When did you go? When did you go to these? And did John go with you?
No, I was still in high school. My dad, like, there was some because my we used to have a sailboat, so my dad was really into like sailing bullshit, and so I don't know.
We need to get your dad on to talk about sailing at one point. We do need to do that. Like that sounds like a great episode.
Fuck sailing! It's the dumbest shit ever.
What's his boat name?
It was called. Actually, I named it Seymour, but Seamoor.
Oh, that's actually very clever. Good for you,
Seymour.
Yeah, very good. All right, go on. The Renaissance Fair when you were in high school. How did you get roped into this? Or you said you were kind of like a shy person in high school, right? So was it just something to go to for you?
No, it was one of my Guy Schwartz's classic forced family fun kind of things, like. Yeah, it was one of those weekends. I think it might have even been Father's Day or some bullshit like that. Not that Father's Day is bullshit, but unless you don't have a good relationship with your father, then sorry. I forget how we ended up going there. I think someone posted about it in like his little yacht club or power squadron, whatever bullshit sailing related nonsense that he belonged to at the time. They're like, oh, Renaissance Fair up in Richmond. And my dad's like, we're going to go. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like maybe I'll get some cool trinkets or some shit. Like, go see, worst thing, my dad and I will just make fun
of Were there any hunks there?
Not that I recall, no. There was this man who was a pirate, and he had a pie rat. So he had this rat with a pirate hat, and I took a picture with it. It was actually very cute.
Now, does John know? Did you ever tell John you went to this?
No, it has. I mean, it really hasn't come up. Like,
can you go tell him when you're done with this episode?
I do kind of judge the people that like go and camp out at these things. Like, I have an ex that like I believe came. His like Facebook showed up on my little feed or whatever, and I was like, "What the fuck are you wearing?" And then I looked, and it's like they were at the Renaissance Festival, but like camping and like in fully dressed up. And I was like, I'm not a judgmental person, but you couldn't pay me. I mean, honestly, I don't like camping. Like. We have modern technology. We have a bed. I want to shower. I'm not sleeping on the fucking floor.
Now, yeah. I like to think that we rate these things. So, Travis, your Renaissance Fair, out of a 10, what would you rate it this year?
This year, I mean, I would say 8 out of 10. I mean, we've had. It's amazing that like I'll drive to this thing for 2 or 3 hours in the morning on a Saturday, and it'll still be amazing. And we've done it for 12 years in a row. Like,
that's awesome.
We missed the pandemic one, but since I've known them, pretty much every year.
That's pretty cool.
I think it was just us growing up, and we just don't have the energy to jump around to all the because there'll be games too. There'll be like axe throwing. Here. So I came with some show and tell things. I don't know how it's going to work for this.
What are the swords and the balloon?
So I got swords here. But first, there is a kind of a booth where you just pay for them to give you glass bottles, and then you throw it as hard as you can at a target, like about 20 feet back. And it's just the Wreck-It room. So that's kind of my favorite thing for the year. So one a year for Christmas, my friends made me this. Trying to do my best here.
That's you shirtless with a bottle.
At the front of, at the booth, a woman looking very scared about what's about to happen, because it's usually like, somebody's, 20, girlfriend or whatever that pays $5 for a couple of Coke bottles to throw at the wall. And then in my prime, I don't think I still throw this hard, but in my prime, I used to throw 80 miles an hour in high school. So that's what I'm trying to hit with glass. So especially, again, when I'm buzzed, I'm trying to do that. So that's one of my favorite Christmas gifts, is getting that little picture.
So you're drunk at this thing throwing glass bottles.
Yes. And like I'm putting $20 down for them to give me like a giant glass Tropicana thing or a vase or something like that.
And that's fine, because you just won $20 on the fencing, the sword fighting. So you take money and you throw it
and we go and throw glass at a wall as hard as we can until like I blow my arm out, basically.
Brian can attest to this. I'm a very open-minded person. Would you agree, Brian?
No, not even a little.
Well, he doesn't know.
Fucking your house. What are you talking about?
I actually think I would enjoy this more than Brian thinks I would enjoy this. Would you agree with
An
that?
hour. I'd give you an
All
hour.
right,
Go
hold on.
next
I
year.
will say this. I'll say this.
Okay.
In the past year and a half to 2 years,
Okay.
you have become
A better person.
No.
yeah, absolutely. You become different in terms of like things that you will try, like you'll give a chance.
Right. Like
Whereas like 5 years ago,
from age 20 to 30, if it was a no, it was a no from me.
no, but it even went further than that. Like
14.
you knew, no. I'm saying like I knew exactly like if somebody was like, "Hey, do you want to go do this thing?" I'll be like, "Yeah," and they'll be like, "Why don't you ask us?" And I'll just be like, "No shot, he'll do this." Like no matter, like if it was that thing that I just knew, and like they would, oh, just ask them anyway. I'd be like, I'm gonna tell you, you're just gonna say no. That's it, and then there will be an awkward silence afterwards, and then you'll have to hang the phone up.
But now I've become a better person.
I think you would like it. I don't think it'd be your like go-to thing to do every year, but I think you'll have a good, and it does blow me away. The drive sucks going there, and it's like, fuck, why do we keep doing this? And then once you're in it, like it's like my favorite day of the year. Like
Right.
It truly is.
Now, do you think if there's a New Jersey one, will you accompany Brian and I if we wanted to go?
Sure. I just don't know if a New Jersey one would have the same vibes, because the Pennsylvania one, you're getting so much just beautiful, like Delco white trash, like on top of.
I'm pretty sure Jersey has plenty of white trash. It's fucking New Jersey, all right?
Whoa.
I know what he means.
South, like it would have to be in like Cherry Hill or South, like it's not going to be up,
how much
Rutherford or something.
Never, like Pennsylvania as a state, but we also know it as Pennsyltucky.
True.
Yeah, that's what you're getting. Like you're getting.
Ellie doesn't understand that. Brian, explain that.
I gotta look up a fucking map. See,
Right. So, like, obviously, Pennsylvania is right next to New Jersey, so it can't.
Hey, Amish.
It can't be that much different from Jersey, but it is. It's
okay.
You get really country motherfuckers out there.
Yeah.
Like, it's any state. You can go to upstate New York. It's the same shit.
It's the amount of people. Like it's like So there's one in New York too. I haven't been there. I assume it's fairly similar, but I don't know. I feel like this is not something that would thrive in a liberal society here.
Oh, Ellie, you're done then. You're done.
So, to my next point, the weapons you get.
Oh, look at that, Brian. That's a
weapon.
They just give you that.
So this one I got 1 year. I guess it was like 8 years ago at this point. We get there, like I said, 10:30. Walk in, immediately start drinking as fast as I can. We walk to like this pirate ship area where they sell weapons and like swords and stuff. So I walk in and I literally have like a meat or whatever in my hand, a wine, I think. And the pirate guy in charge is like, okay, so we're going to try and sell some items here. The first one, though, is a mystery box. So he has an oak box with something in it. And he's like, whoever bids me the highest price will get whatever's in it. And I immediately say, like, there's about 12, 15 other people in this little pirate ship area. So I immediately walk in, I go, $50. No one else says anything. I get it. He's like, he opens it. I have this sick ass katana here.
That's so cool.
And the guy was like, okay, so this isn't like most of the stuff we sell. This is actually a good katana. It actually should be priced at $120. But he was just trying to get interest, I guess, that day or something. And he was telling me how to polish it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, totally. What kind of oil am I supposed? Okay, got it. Now, Okay, don't worry, man. He's like every week or two, you gotta oil it, or else it's gonna start to rust or something like that. I don't think it's rusted, but it's not gonna look as nice or some shit. And that's basically the story of that. I just walked around with a fucking 8-pound katana all day.
So, Trav, I have to ask before we move on to the next thing. Have you ever sliced the watermelon in half with it?
I sliced my roommate's hand with it.
Okay, delve into that.
Had a
It's a gift
roommate
that
in
keeps
grad
on giving,
school.
folks. Let's go.
On accident.
I didn't hurt him that bad, but I got pretty far. Like I got a half an inch into his
So he
hand,
had to
like
be
the
glued
inside.
shut.
I don't think he did anything about it, or
That's
maybe
dumb.
he may have gotten a stitch at the fucking the health center the next day. We were, like I said, this was in grad school. But yeah, my roommate, John, Asian guy. I don't know, for whatever I came back with a sword because I think I just threw it in the car because I was in Missouri, by the way. This is that's
Ew.
part of this. So he had a collection of swords too for some reason. So we were showing our stuff off. So I also have this other
You're showing
thing
Show us
that
the sword.
I have this.
Okay.
It's kind of sucks. I used it to open up doors a couple of times because it's so
Doors?
flat.
Hold on,
Yeah.
what? Like,
Wait, demonstrate the door opening technique with a sword. Like, are you just hacking at it, or what is?
but why,
No, you
did
use it like a big letter opener. You just kind
Oh,
of
okay.
pop
There's
But why
Yeah.
did you have to do that?
My friend lost his key to his room or something
Don't
like
worry, I have
that.
my fucking door opening sword. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so it was like we didn't have the crowbar was too thick, but the sword kind of got in there. So that
It's
was
a good thing I bought this at the fair.
yeah. It's come in handy. Yeah, like the fuck here. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, like if you see the end here, it's
What
like
is it
all
bent?
fucking there. See how bent
Yeah.
it is? That was because of opening doors with it the few times it needed
This
to be
actually
done.
might be the funniest episode we've ever done. It's up there. It's just been one thing after another. Swords and throwing glass. It's actually incredible. It really
It
is.
rules. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going next year, guys. We are for sure going next year. I want to throw some glass.
Yeah, but I mean, you're getting closer to the East Coast. I don't know if Texas has a Renaissance fair.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
I feel like Texas would have
Yeah.
something. Like I said, this is
And either San Antonio, Dallas, or Houston. One of them's going to have one. One of those major cities will have one.
Houston. I would imagine, right? Like that's a pretty.
What the fuck else going on there? So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty cool. And Trav, I think you did a good job of selling it. I think that people who started this episode with saying I would never go to Renaissance.
How did your friend cut his fucking hand? Did you slice him?
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
right. Yeah. So basically, we were showing off, and he pulled out his
Show you mine if I
katana, and basically we're
you're sword fighting.
It's a dick measuring contest with steel here.
Gotcha.
So we were I think we were drinking a little. I don't think we were blitzed or anything, but we're yeah, let's fuck it. And we pull it out, and we start banging the fucking metal against each other, and then
that is not safe.
No, it's not. So I was the first one to fuck up. It's basically the same state where kids will swing metal or a pipe at each other to play.
And one of you hits too hard, and it's
yeah, and then somebody gets hurt, and we're sorry.
Yeah, except this is actually swords that could kill you.
Yeah, so I think it was I think I missed, or I was going a little bit more aggressive than he was, and then I hit the inside of his hand, and then I'm using my EMT skills to keep the pressure on the wound.
Apply pressure, keep it above your heart.
Yeah, getting gauze for him and stuff, and then I think it stopped. So I don't think it was we needed to go to the ER or anything like that. But it was. I'm glad I got to use it in at least one sword fight. I could say that. There's, I think here. Let me see if there's a dent somewhere.
His blood is
Yeah, his
Blood on
blood
it,
is
his
still
bright
on it, and they
blood.
never cleaned it. And it's a little scratched up, kind of. You wouldn't be able to tell on the
Nah.
camera. It's a little scratched up, kind of in the middle here.
All right. Wild shit. Trav, you just kept on giving some great material and information. Brian, final thoughts.
Just based on the stories alone, Renaissance Fair is 10 out of 10, and I want to go.
All
Yeah.
right, Ellie, we going next year. You're throwing
So
glass.
I'm absolutely in. You mean you had me at breaking glass? So
well,
yeah.
Well, you did that at your wedding, so
No, my husband got to break the glass, which was kind
gotcha.
of shit.
That was a pretty good joke, though. Nice little tie in there to the Jewish wedding.
Yeah, he got to break the glass. I wonder where that glass is.
It's probably stuck on the bottom of his shoe.
No, because you wrap it in a napkin.
I
No.
know.
It's like in a napkin or a bag, and he was very excited about the whole glass breaking aspect of it. And I was like,
That's how you sell. That's how you sell the Catholics to marry India. Hey, you get to step on glass, and they get excited.